History is often told through the noise of battles, the clash of swords, the thunder of cannons, the chaos of armies colliding. The world is painted as a place where kings spill blood for territory, where empires erase each other from the map. Yet behind the curtains of history, far from the spotlight, there is another truth. Some states became great powers without firing a single arrow, without besieging a single fortress, without raising a massive army. Their names rarely appear in war epics or battle songs. Instead, they are written quietly in port logs, account books, customs records, and stock exchange archives. They showed that conquering the world is sometimes possible not with an army, but with the right port, the right treaty, the right merchant, and the right financial system. Today, we explore the story of these silent giants, the economies that won without war. Throughout history, most states grew through the sword, but rising without war is far more difficult and far more subtle, because gaining power without fighting requires intelligence, patience, commercial genius, and long-term vision. Courage might win a battle in a few hours, but economic victory demands plans and calculations that span generations. That is why the achievements of those who gained power without war are deeper and more lasting. They controlled not people, but trade routes, not fortresses, but ports, not swords, but the flow of information. Power is not always as loud as we think. Sometimes the strongest state is the quietest one. One of the most striking examples of these silent powers is the Venetian Republic. Built on a swampy lagoon, this small city-state became the wealthiest society in medieval and Renaissance Europe. Its land was almost non-existent. It had no plains for agriculture. Yet its wealth was limitless. Venice was the beating heart of trade between East and West. With or without Ottoman permission, silk, spices, jewels, porcelain, perfumes, and luxury goods from the East arrived first in the port of Venice before being distributed across Europe. Venetians truly earned the title Market of the World. Venice was not a military empire. It was a commercial intelligence empire. Its ambassadors were not merely diplomats, they were professional spies and market analysts. From every land they visited, they reported not only political news, but also price changes, product stocks, newly discovered routes, plans of rival merchants, even the purchasing power and fashion trends of local people. These reports entered the state archive as the famous relazioni. Today, historians regard them as the ancestors of modern CIA or MI6 reports. Venice also knew exactly when not to fight. It rivaled the Ottoman Empire for centuries, yet both sides depended on each other. Venice understood the cost of war very well. An expensive naval campaign could destroy decades of trade. So more often than not, Venice signed peace treaties and even turned its enemies into trading partners. Historians say Venice did not win wars because it rarely entered them. The secret of Venice was simple. Real power is measured not in land, but in information and capital. Empires collapsed, dynasties changed, but Venice controlled trade for centuries. Without drawing a sword, it became one of the richest and most sophisticated societies in Europe. Money, at times, is far sharper than any blade. Another remarkable example of warless rise is the forgotten African giant, the Kingdom of Aksum. Located in modern Ethiopia, Eritrea, and ruling from the 1st to 7th centuries AD, Aksum was a major economic rival of the Roman Empire itself. There are almost no great battle stories about Aksum because it didn't need them. Its power came from its unmatched control over the entrance of the Red Sea. Aksum's ports were a massive crossroads of world trade. Black pepper and cinnamon from India, ivory and gold from Africa's interior, incense from Arabia, and silver and gold from Rome all flowed through its markets. Trade was so intense that Aksum minted its own coins that were accepted in Rome, India, and even China. Archaeologists still find Aksumite coins in India today. Oxum's ships did not sail to sink other fleets. They sailed to carry goods. Instead of warfare, Oxum prospered through taxes, customs duties, and transit rights. It remains one of the earliest and most successful examples of turning geography into economic power. By the 17th century, the stage belonged to the Dutch. This small delta nation had fought Spain for decades, yet its real power rose not on battlefields, but on oceans and in financial markets. The Dutch founded the world's first multinational corporation, the VOC, the Dutch East India Company. It had its own navy, its own forts, its own currency, even its own army. At one point, it was more powerful than several European monarchs. But the VOC's true weapons were contracts, shares, and insurance policies. When the Amsterdam Stock Exchange opened in 1602, the foundations of modern finance were laid. For the first time, people could share the risk of a sinking ship, trade stocks, or engage in futures contracts. The famous tulip mania was simply a side effect of this financial innovation. When England founded its central bank in 1694, it directly copied the Dutch model. The irony is striking. While Europe drowned in the blood of the 30 Years' War, the Netherlands enjoyed its golden age. Now, the world was shaped not by generals, but by merchants, accounting systems, shipping routes, and trusted financial instruments. And the modern era's most remarkable example, Singapore. When it was expelled from Malaysia in 1965, Singapore had a population of 2 million, a per capita income of about $500, and not even enough drinking water. No oil, no minerals, no farmland. Yet Lee Kuan Yew made a single strategic decision. We will not be producers. We will be the world's greatest logistics and financial hub. Today, the port of Singapore is one of the busiest container ports in the world. With its duty-free system, it has attracted more than 30,000 multinational companies. It became the center of the Asian dollar market. Its refining capacity is 20 times larger than its own oil consumption. It imports food, but is also the region's largest food distribution center. Its education system, legal system, and transparency index rank among the best. Conscription exists, but war does not, because no one wants to bomb Asia's most valuable logistics and financial gateway. Singapore taught the modern world this truth. In the 21st century, power comes not from land, but from connectivity. Ports, airports, fiber optic cables, data centers, legal stability, these are the new fortresses. Across history and today, the economies that won without war shared the same principles. They used their geography wisely. They positioned their ports at the heart of trade. They built strong financial systems. They turned information and diplomacy into economic power. They planned patiently across generations. War consumes resources. The economy produces them. While warriors expend their strength, these silent giants multiply theirs. Even today, some countries still measure power by tanks and missiles, while others open new Silk Road corridors, build deep-water ports, expand financial centers, and invest in AI and green energy to buy the future. And once again, history reveals its timeless rule. The world is shaped not by those who fight the most, but by those who control trade, money, and information. If history teaches us anything, it is this: real power is silent. Real victory is written in account books, in port cranes, and in fiber optic cables. And sometimes, to conquer the world, you don't need an army. You just need the right port, the right vision, and the right strategy. This is the story of those who won without war.